So in 2 weeks, he's done more than the previous president could have done in 3 years. That's all I'm saying.
Clouds rolling like wisdom spread, soaking minds where dreams are fed. Every drop a lesson clear. Knowledge reigns, we're all ears. Daily trip we overflow. Pouring truths that make us glow. Raindrop rhythm, heavy bass. Feel the beat, it's our embrace. Conversations flowing fast, echoing through storms that last. Droplets whisper past.
All right. Welcome back to another show of our Daily Drip Show. I am your co-host, Jim Jones.
You can call me Dame. To the world, I'm playing Dame. To the investors, I'm playing Dame at this point. So.
Okay.
Shout out to that DBA.
And then we got Cash Advance.
It's Cash is pay.
Advance America.
Hey. Cash is pay. Call me
AKA,
bro.
hey, check low, get mo.
Okay, make them pay.
PDL, payday loan.
Thank y'all for rocking with us once again with another show, Real Late Night, and that's what we do. And today we got a great show for y'all. We are going to dive into more of the new administration. Some would say shenanigans. Some would say greatness.
Yeah, or I would say disruption of what we are used to.
Disruption. I like that. Yeah, because we were talking about, who is this by? The Associated Press. What's her name? Ashley Thomas. That's her name. She wrote an article about the whole, there's a whole lot going on about DEI. And more specifically, there was the whole every month for y'all who don't live in the US. So let me bring it back for a second. For y'all who don't live in the US, we historically, and I don't know, correct me when this started happening, because when I was a kid, this wasn't a thing. But every month is a dedicated month to a group of some sort. So like February is Black History Month. And I can't remember when Women's Month is, but there's different months for different groups.
Because I only remember one month that had.
Okay, I don't remember it being like,
honestly, when we was
just Black History Month.
Black History Month, and then you had October was cancer. So you wore the pink ribbons for breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then May was for Autism Awareness Month. I could be wrong about the month there as well, but we weren't bombarded with so much
every month. Like Pacific Islanders Month and Women's Month.
Don't remember purchasing the everyone's included calendar.
What's in February?
Isn't that also February?
Oh, I believe that's June. I think they got a high quality month.
Yeah,
I believe they got June.
Keep it hot for the alphabet.
June 1st to June 30th.
Yeah, I believe so. That was recently taken off the table. Get rid of all of them.
Too much of a cultural buffet. We are confused every month. And everyone's so sensitive. And honestly, this is my thing. Do we really need a national mandate to celebrate? If you want to celebrate your differences or whatever, do you really need your president to tell you what to do and how to do it? No one wants to work anymore. I think it's getting in the way of certain things, but that's my take on it. My birthday in September. I don't need a mandate for that.
Yes.
Celebrate their birthday a whole damn month.
Exactly.
It's my birthday month.
Going to brunch every day.
That sounds like a dream, but what has happened is even though they were taken away, like at the federal level, recently it has been a conflict because President Trump basically gave props to the sacrifices that Black people have contributed to the country, and apparently did not take Black History off the table. So there's a bit of a tussle going on there. I just wanted to bring that up because, from my own perspective, I if anything, in my opinion, being a Black person, I would just ask for June. It's open now. Why we still got February?
It go right with the day the slaves is free. All of that happened in June. It would have
Juneteenth.
made sense. It would have Juneteenth would have made sense. But as a parent, every day is Black History Month. That's just where I'm at with it. I don't need a federal mandate to tell me what I can and can't celebrate. People just like being upset about stuff.
Do you care that you took away the months?
Not really. If, like I said, the alphabet community, you got certain people that's gonna feel how they feel, but the gay homies is not tripping. They gonna do what they do. If they want to celebrate that month, first of all, a lot of my gay homies, their birthday is gonna be their Pride Month, so it don't even matter. If Biden would have said it, it wouldn't have got half the press that it got. It'd have been some rumblings, but it wouldn't have been as covered. Let's just be honest about it.
Do you think that Black History Month gets to stay, but then Pacific Islanders Month or Asian American Month or whatever it may be does not? Stay tuned for the Trump show.
Yeah, it's definitely already leaving a bad taste with people. That's obvious. But as long as I remember back in the day, even when I was teaching, when I was working in schools, it wasn't a big hoopla around Pacific Islander, but it did come up on that calendar. Every calendar I've seen for probably the last 20 years had the Pacific Islander celebration. A lot of different stuff still popped up on these months that you would see, even unconsciously, you didn't even think about it. People still want to know what the hell the day is. People still gonna know, is it March? As far as I know, it never had anything to do with culture. It was about what month do we cater to women? What month do we look at men? So Sweetie's Day is in October. Valentine's Day is in February. And in between time, when did I meet you? When is my anniversary?
Most people, it's tailored to them. So
Yeah.
I would agree with that. But yeah, make sure y'all check that. I'll leave the link in the description so y'all can check out the full article. Who knows, by the time you even read it, things could change.
Tomorrow they say, no, we're going to move it. We're moving it to July.
Yeah, so who knows?
Barbecues, chicken, melons, everyone's happy.
Oh, yeah. Also, what you sipping on? What do you got in your cup? I got some coffee.
High-powered H2O, man.
Again?
Dame is in the gym right now, trying to get slim and trim for the summer. Got the missus in the gym with me. So I told her I was going to cut back on the devil's elixirs. I'm not drinking as much. Just trying to stay on some high-powered H2O. I did have some cold brew because my day starts at 4 and it ends at 2 on Fridays most of the time. So yeah, keeping it clean. At least a little bit for a little while.
All right, water drinker and payday loan. What you got?
Put some respect on my name. Okay. Cashes. Pay. I loan like a butterfly. I sting like the banker.
CP.
Yeah, I'm sipping on water.
40 water.
So, community, Odd Squad, tell us what you like to sip on. And also, since the host won't do it, let me go ahead and ask, what do you think about DEI and Black
You didn't
History
even
Month?
give me a
do you want us to
chance. But go
call
ahead.
and response? Call and re-frickin' response. And that's what you get for calling me JG Wentworth and all them other things.
877 cash now.
I loaned my brother 50 and I need it back now.
That's gonna be a classic for life. Yes, I Squad, thank you for being a part of the community. Make sure y'all leave a comment, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications of whenever we have new content that drops. So excited for y'all to be here. Just make sure y'all leave what's in your cup too, because maybe y'all got a new drink we can try. We're always good with new drinks.
Last week I did have some nice, and not in the Diddy manner either. I did cranberry. I had a cranberry lemon drop with vodka, so it was nice. And keep in mind, guys, this is Friday. We're recording these, so let us know if you sitting in front of on your phone or you sitting in front of your laptop, computer, what have you. What's in your cup? Be sip when you digest this content that we're bringing. I would love to hear that. Give us something new.
Yeah, because if I can replicate, I will try, and I will let you know if your drink is good or bad. So speaking of good and bad, we're gonna keep rolling on this DEI topic. And I know y'all heard about the flight that happened with Philly. And originally it was just, there's a flight that two flights collided, and they didn't really say we're blaming it on so and so. Trump's blaming it on so and so. Trump is blaming Biden as well as a DEI hire. So we have a video to further the discussion. But yeah, like when we talk about DEI, I think DEI when Trump ran, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, was also wrapped up in culture.
Definitely.
And one of the initiatives is to pull out as much woke culture as possible, especially administered by the Biden administration. So here we go.
Signature, we have a presidential memorandum.
Thank you.
Second for your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation.
Immediate assessment. Wow, they got an inspector on the ground.
Trying to be first, trying to be right on the button with it. Immediately, immediate attention.
When Biden was in office, wasn't that when that plane, that Boeing, whatever, had that door that ripped off?
Yeah. And Congress addressed it, but it's
second for your signature, we have a presidential memorandum titled Immediate Assessment of Aviation Safety. In light of the damage done to aviation safety by the Biden administration's DEI and woke policies, what this presidential memorandum orders is for your Secretary of Transportation and FAA administrator, in this case, acting FAA administrator, to basically ensure that we are actively undoing all of that damage, that we are assessing how much damage was done, and that we're ensuring that people hired within the FAA are only the most outstanding, capable people for the jobs that they're being hired into.
In other words, competence.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We have the most qualified people for the job.
It makes sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me because I feel like from what we've seen, a lot of these companies, they got all these quotas they needed to meet. And I didn't hear anything about who was the most qualified. We got to have this many women. We got to have this many Black women. We got to have this many white women working. We got to have our gay person, our trans person. It was just a lot of nonsense. I didn't hear anything about competence. That wasn't at the forefront of everybody's minds with these hiring processes. And then they had all of these different questionnaires and feelings and like it was trash. It probably should have been more of a conversation of we're investigating to see what's going on. I believe that the problem started with the hiring process. I don't think we had the best people running the show. He's coming for the juggler because no one bit their tongue talking about problems they think he may have caused. So it's only right that you look at the situation and say it was too much BS going on. No way a helicopter should have been flying straight ahead into a plane that way. Like they said that the air traffic was so like crowded. It just looked extremely mismanaged when they started paying attention to things. It's sad that people lost their lives because of incompetence. I think it was something that could have easily have been fixed if we had probably had the right people involved. But you got
It's
I don't know if you see that
interesting.
congressional hearing that they had too with the FFA administrator either, the Washington guy.
What happened?
It was just a lot of excuses. And I hated
Okay.
to see he was a black man they hired, and he couldn't answer simple like questions that you probably would have asked at an interview. He had no answers for it. They asked him, first of all, you the FFA administrator. You should know the ins and outs of everybody's job. That's a part of your job, is knowing how everybody else is supposed to function in their positions. And his answer, I can't answer that. I'm not a pilot. I can't answer that. I'm not a this. I can't answer that. I'm not a that. And they're like, no, blood pressure has nothing to do with this part of the job. It was just sad. It just showed just how incompetent he was. You could tell that he definitely was just put in place to fill a quota.
As an executive, you don't necessarily need to know what everybody is supposed to do in every job.
But what I'm saying is that some of the questions they asked, if somebody of any kind of experience could have at least gave some sort of answer, everything shouldn't have been, I don't know. And that's basically how he was approaching it. I can't answer this. I can't answer that. He really had no intelligent response to anything they were giving him. Because he could have easily said what you just said. You see how you answered that? Sir, I'm not a line manager. My line manager or what have you would be the one that you guys would have to ask that question. My job is to make sure that he's doing his job. You get what I'm saying? But he couldn't even give you that. Like, I didn't feel confident with him running things, if that makes sense.
I'm waiting for you because you chimed in, Cash Space.
Yeah,
that was you.
I just presented it as a different tone.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the way you presented that made sense.
So it depends. So from my perspective, it depends. Because no matter what he says, it sounds like this excuses. Because he's accountable, even if he doesn't know. And nobody wants to hear him say, you got to talk to someone. So hold up, boss man. I'm talking, you the main dude in charge. Yeah, like it's like he wasn't prepped. I agree with you. It sounded like he was not prepped.
Yeah, he just wasn't prepared. And that's the part that looked horrible. You just showed up and was like, I can't answer that.
Yeah, from my perspective, I would at least came up there with some kind of data.
Like the MF was pleading the fifth.
Yeah, and my he went up there I would at least come up, just have some data with you. Like at the end of the day, somebody else gonna call you up there. You could just repeat the same data you had last time.
That don't sound like somebody that's confidently running the show. It just doesn't.
That is actually a perfect segue about somebody being confident running the show. It's perfect, because we gonna talk about your boy Elon Musk and they're running stuff. You don't even work here. It's like the dude who come through the drive-thru pulling up, telling y'all that you ain't using your spatula right. He pulling up. I know y'all use the spoons back there. You're supposed to use spatula.
It's like, how you get back here?
Boy, Elon out here. Doge is not a government agency, correct?
Tell me what is it? They're basically an outsourced outside agency that's been created.
Okay, so that's like you work at a fast food restaurant or fast food joint. The building inspector for the region pull up. Hey, y'all not up to code. Okay, what we need to do? Y'all not up to code because y'all not flipping these burgers. Hold up, bro. I understand that you understand it might be a fire risk, but you're not over how they flip burgers in the cooking and what we serve. And he like, I know the owner. I'm pulling up. Skirt. That's Elon.
Just to add context to this headline here, the workers that were locked out of the system were people that were let go. So
I think the main point is, why is Elon in this? Why are you involved?
He's a part of Doge. So that, unfortunately, hate it or love it, he's been vetted and granted certain access to government intel that normal people aren't privy to. And that can build a lot of different resentment, jealousy, a lot of different things. Because at the end of the day, you just some billionaire that own X. You not my boss, so you can't be bossing me. That's one of my old coworkers would have said. You know what I mean? And you're right and wrong at the same time, because take it up with your president.
The owner. And Jasmine Crockett, if I'm not mistaken, is a representative out of Texas.
Texas, aka Icicle Eyelash.
If you think this is okay, something is wrong with you. Explain an unelected, unvetted, unconfirmed individual who hasn't been subjected to the same security clearances or higher as these civil servants has the authority to do this?
Not untrue, though.
It feels
Not
as if
untrue.
we're being attacked from within. Full boop, stop. In a minute, I think they're going to consciously ignore court orders or continuously ignore court orders that are granted against them. You see what happens, America, when you put a con man, convicted felon into the White House. He does not abide by the law. If courage
And
is
can
not
I
where
a-
you stand in
and
times of comfort, but where you stand in times of discomfort. I'm ready to
now
see some Republicans find their spines. We have to do what's right. Because,
She said Pepto Bismol.
and you gotta love the conversation coming from an elected civil servant. You gotta love it. But okay, and let's correct this too. In New York, if you're a felon and you're convicted, that means you did time. That means you actually were sentenced. The other part of this too is that it add context to your conversation, sweetie. Those people who were complaining about not having clearance anymore were fired. They were let go. So they wouldn't have had clearance whether Elon told them or not. They were already let go. They were cut loose.
how do they get another
Explain
job
both
again
sides.
if they don't get to maintain their clearance? Usually, you get to maintain your clearance in the private sector if you already had it from the public sector. If I was working in, we'll say, military tech, and I've left the military, retired, I get to retain my security clearance when I go into the private sector.
Fired though, because they're
Now,
gonna
when you
want to
fired
ask
at
you.
any job, any job you
Yeah.
fired.
To keep
No
my
more.
this is
Yeah,
technically a certification.
yeah. You got certs, but that don't mean you got access.
Depend.
Grant you access.
What if you got a cert from within that company? So some company, have you worked with this software? You get fired, you better not list that. Who gonna vouch for you? Little Jimmy who put you
Right.
out? He ain't
Right.
vouch for you.
Who
And
put
we
you
talking
on?
about- And the company we
out.
speak of is the United States of America. That's a different kind of corporation.
Hold on,
Clear
let me
that.
talk. Everybody's up in ours. This is my part from a tech perspective to talk about. It does not matter what company that you work for, they have consultants. And those consultants have access to your data and your information. Elon Musk just happened to be a consultant for the federal government. There are other companies, because I don't want to get in trouble because some of my NDA is probably still active. But some of these companies, if they outsource anything, who works on their stuff, they can see your information. So no different. Like you call on that phone and another accent pick up, they got access to your information. That's all I gotta say.
And
They can
at
lock
that
you out
point,
too.
There's some
they
issues
not
with that,
asking
too.
questions because they want. They're not asking questions because they won't answer. They're asking questions to see if you're gonna lie. They already know the answer to the question they already asked you, brother. So if you go in for that interview, they know when you are sleeping. They know when you're awake.
If you
You no
think
longer
that
have
Elon
clearance.
people is the only
Say,
ones
Tim,
who don't
did
have
you
this
really
clearance,
give out the butt cream because it was itchy?
who are you talking to?
Talk
Who
about them
that?
knowing your business.
Who are you talking to?
Jim Jones?
Oh, you ain't talking to me, Playboy. You ain't talking to me, Cash Advance. I know you ain't talking to me, Credit One. I know you ain't talking to me, One Main Financial. I know you ain't talking to me.
Damn, why you let loose like that? Hold on, wait a minute. How you go?
Won't do that. I came ready today.
How you go from
But
ass cream to Capital One? Come on, now.
no, he wish it was Capital One. I said Credit One. Look that up.
Oh, predatory type.
Yeah.
So we keep
Like,
going.
what's your credit rating?
What's one of
Point.
the Native American
That's what
banks?
I
They
have.
be getting people too. You one of
One
them,
point.
the Native American banks, where they be jacking them people up 500% to give a $200 loan. Sheesh.
Let's Dale task.
All I'm saying is that yes, they're not vetted, but these other companies are doing something similar. Is it a concern? Yeah, but guess what? It's just what people voted for. So next time, Democrats, do better. Respect your voter base. Probably wouldn't be here.
It's time to be really real because she on the other foot. Icicle eyelash would she have been spazzing on Biden if he
Not
had one of
ISIS.
his homies in there telling folks you all no longer got access. The first thing she would have said was that person was brought in from someone who sits in the highest office in the land. So who gives them the right to question his decision on this? That's how she would have preferenced that if there
Yeah,
would have
you're
been a
right.
Democrat sitting there. Now I'm tired of that. Let's not be disillusioned by how folks are moving, especially on the left side. And that's what's sad about it. No one's being real. Yeah, okay, you can be mad at him, but that is still the richest man in the world. That man still took he took a company and got rid of everybody that wasn't profitable and brought it up, regardless of who was willing to spend money with him or not. He has been vetted to a degree. Maybe not to the degree that you like, but it don't matter to me. If you already kicked out the club and I say you can't come in, I'm not the bad guy. You just not coming in the club, brother.
Importantly, they're not the only ones doing it. Y'all just don't realize that all the other companies are already doing that too. We can talk about, oh, yeah, we're going to keep on going down this Trump train. Because he was talking about them tariffs, right? He said, we're going to make America great again. I'm going to take your publishing. And oh, you want to sell stuff to us? It's going to cost you.
I am
It's
the
gonna cost
tariff
you.
terrorist.
Make it here. A lot of people are mad. I believe more recent, like news is happening so fast that we may say something today and it's escalated. So as of today,
I was just with the president in the Oval Office, and I can confirm that tomorrow, the February 1st deadline that President Trump put into place at a statement several weeks ago continues. The president will be implementing tomorrow a 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China for the illegal fentanyl that they have sourced and allowed to distribute into our country, which has killed tens of millions of Americans. These are promises made and promises kept by the president.
The president yesterday said that last night he was planning to discuss whether an exemption would be made on oil imports. Do you have any information on what decision he made there, or will there be exemptions at all offered under those?
I don't have an update or readout for you on the exemptions, but those tariffs will be for public consumption in about 24 hours.
FOFA.
what's her name?
What's
What's that girl name?
Oh, that was just
She came to play no games, though. First of all, I want to give her flowers out the gate because she came in like a wrecking ball, like hot to the mic, very much like this setting the tone of what she's doing. So I do want to give her props of standing in who she is and establishing herself, regardless of what party it is. I think she at least is establishing herself pretty well. And then going into, he said he was going to tariff y'all. Why is everybody surprised?
I don't know why they thought that they wasn't going to fuck around and find out. He put it out there. It is what it is. This is how we moving. That's what he said. This how we gonna roll. I come back around here, and if you ain't got my money,
he said that tariffs was coming anyway, but really it depends on what you do for how much is.
Yeah,
yesterday's price is not today's price.
You want to reduce?
Exactly. Like it was 50%. You bitching? Oh, it's 55%.
I could bring it down.
What was on Mexico? Was it 25?
Supposed to be 25.
And then Canada, China was 10%. So China must have did something to play nice.
He was gonna hit them with even more.
I'm just saying they did something. Get that down to 10, because I thought he was talking about 50 before.
He was, because he said that Fetty Wap has killed millions over here, and you guys harvested. So once again, China is the reason for But a lot of the stuff, they got fields out there that's growing it. And they allowing it to get over here somehow, some way. And honestly, it's almost like a terrorist attack the way fentanyl has gotten into this country. Let's just be honest about it. If it can't get in here, they damn near give you the ingredients on how to make it. He like, you're at fault. And then he look at Mexico. Oh, so you not trying to work with me to keep these people from coming in? He in there like a parent. Like, if I have to count to five, if I have to count to five,
huh? I'm gonna
it's
have
gonna
our
be.
tariff in Pelican Bay when I'm through with you.
In Canada, they was like,
Canada.
we'll
Yeah,
just cut the lights off. We'll just, he said, really? Try me. I'm gonna put a tariff on your whole fucking family.
Yeah, because I think Trudeau was saying that he was in talks trying to negotiate. I'm trying to understand what you about to negotiate. I don't think Trump has ever offered negotiating. I think he was pretty clear of you gonna do this or we gonna do that. There was no let's talk about
like
something in the
what?
middle. It was,
He said, what? You talking about that Salt and Pepper son? And where the hell he at right now?
So he got
probably calling Trump right now because he seemed pretty pressing.
He's gone.
He resigned
Today?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So hold on, who's
Jigga,
doing the
jigga,
negotiation? I
what?
thought I read, maybe I
Yeah.
misread who was doing the negotiation and who's trying to negotiate with him then.
Nobody. Ain't no negotiating when that man has made his mind up. All you can do is kiss the ring. That's all you can do. Okay, knock 5 off.
It's a discount now.
I'm gonna knock 5.
Another, sir.
I'm gonna knock 5 off for 4 months. Then it's going right back to the 25. Because it's already set in motion. This is how we're gonna eat because we giving you guys millions. We subsidizing you guys with help. And why? Y'all got free health care, taxes paid for everything over there, and we still got to give you guys money. Nah, run that back. Run some of that back. Here go. We're gonna put 25 on it. Run that back because I need my money back. I need my money by Monday. Everybody is on notice. Everybody owe me. That's how you moving. And truth be told, we spend more money than anybody with everybody.
There you go.
This reminds me of
that's what the trade deficit is. So that's what a trade deficit is. That I'm rubbing you, and you ain't rubbing me back. All right. Now I like massages. My hands are strong. All these massages I've been giving out, my hands is grown, and I came around here. I need my back rubbed. You know what? I need something else rubbed too. It's over with. You ain't rubbed me in years.
And before then, we was humble servants rubbing ourselves, talking about we more than glad to help. What else is required of us being the U.S.? U.S. stands for us, and what can we do for you? He came through that shit over with. Run me mine back. Better yet, I'm tired of going to dinner, and when the bill come, everybody do like this. Pushing it towards me. I'm tired of picking up the tab. Motherfucker, I had lemonade. That's all I had. I wasn't even hungry tonight. Why I gotta pay for everybody else's meal? Come here, Europe, put in. Germany, come here. Saudi Arabia, no, we got it. We got it this time. He like, okay, no tariff for you.
This reminds me of a story. When I first went to college, as all freshmen, you go and you do your time, and I lived in the dorms. But then I quickly realized that I had some enemies. And the best way to get back to my enemies was to become a resident assistant, which gives me the power, right, to basically go through and enforce policy the way I see fit. As we talked about this, I realized that in that instance, I was Trump. And when I tell you, I was a force, an absolute force to be reckoned with. You drinking? Got you. Oh, you got a boy in your room? Got you. You over here taking stuff about the fridge that ain't yours? Got you. I got you. I never really thought about it that way, but Yeah, that means Trump doing something in the background we ain't thinking about because he on the same type of time I'm on.
Let's be real. Think about
That was the smartest thing to do. Like I had enemies. I made sure every time I made sure I did my rounds by their room because I'm going to catch you. And now we in negotiations, just like this. Oh, you're on the tennis team. Is that a drink? You know you get suspended for that, right?
The ultimate hater.
I was.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it was all a rouge because I needed them to be so fearful of me. You would never see me because you're so worried about avoiding me that you never see mine.
Basically with Trump, his first 4 years in office was a learning curve. He was figuring it out. Who can I trust? He saw half his cabinet was rogue. Now here we are. He like, I got my team assembled. I done watched everything y'all have done wrong. And one of those things was allowing our foreign friends of the program to just thrive and not have to spend money because we know we got the power of the dollar because we overcharging taxes over here. So we can help everybody. And he was like, y'all got to help us. We need to be the true powerhouse that we once was. So I'm about to tariff that ass. And if you don't want to be tariff, come spend some money with us. Either way it go, we get paid. Saudi Arabia said, we got 600 billion. He said, double that.
I appreciate the External Revenue Service. I think that's
Love it.
a good thing.
Love it. Why do we got to pay for the sins of the fathers? We help everybody. Nobody lined up to throw billions at us to help us get rid of the homeless situation here, help us build our roads. And it's just a little small city within our city. They got potholes the size of Hondas. Not one country said, you know what, let's help out the Midwest. Flint pipes still not fixed. We got to pay for that. But folks can go start a proxy war. Here go $1 billion. You get $1 billion. We off that. And even then, he said, I see where the problem come from. Okay, it's because y'all over here charging so much for the oil. They fighting over here because of the results of what y'all charging. So what if we change that so they can stop fighting about it? Okay, Trump, we not charge so much. Cool. Oh, you gonna spend some money with us? Double that. I know y'all got it. So I ain't mad at it. Tariff they ass.
As we talk about foreign entities, we're going to bring that right back on home. And I know we touched on the months piece of DEI, but more specifically, the DEI programs, the administration is going to reduce federal programs around DEI. So that would include, if there's a federal program that is around DEI, they're cutting funding for that. It's other things as well. Go ahead, Dane.
Now I'm gonna say that I still can't make it make sense that we're funding programs to ensure. Actually, what we're doing is basically paying off companies to create quotas to hire certain types of people, which is stupid. It's not effective.
I know we talk about DEI as far as like having a minimum amount of people that don't look the same, right? That's pretty much the baseline of DEI, the point of that. But nepotism is a big deal too. And I know we have this video, but to me, and I'll talk more about this later, nepotism is the second part of this portion of it. It may not be racism, it may not be sexism, but nepotism is something that will come about from this because now the most qualified person, they're just closer to me and closer to what's going on. Does that really make them the most qualified because they know you?
But at the same time, when has there ever been a program that incentivizes you hiring your cousin?
Because now you can hire the whole crew being your fam. But there is no minimum. Anyway. Everybody. Little JoJo 7 got a job.
But that's what I'm saying. That's already been normalized. The only thing that happened differently was that you had a lot of white women saying they don't hire us enough. I've never seen so many out of work people complain about DEI. How you hating from outside the club and can't get?
Very true. People screaming
And
racism and like y'all still ain't getting hired.
my few sisters that got moved into different positions, a lot of them are all just qualified and just get hired. Not because of like I said, when DEI came up, I've seen a lot of Chinese women, a lot of other ethnic groups. It wasn't a lot of brothers involved in that situation. On paper, it sounded good, but I didn't see that in the hiring process. And I do a lot of hiring.
So
I'm
what I'll
not,
chime in on from a service perspective is they teach you in diversity, like having it's called a halo or a horns effect. A halo effect is I identify with someone who has the same background as me, grew up the same as me. So I place a halo on that person because I have the same kind of thoughts. I come from the same spot. Hey, we grew up in the same area, and you're more likely to hire them or see past some of the things that they may not be qualified for. You think they can get it because, hey, I got it when I was coming up, that type of thing. On the other side of that is the horns effect. Those that I do not have any understanding about, or I might have had a bad feeling or situation come up with somebody who may have looked like this person or sounded like this person or had the same background of this person. Now, I don't think that that person's a good fit culturally for the organization because of that, right? And it just may be it's called diverse or divergent thoughts. So there are components to this that are troubling based on
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a
whole
bunch of
blanket.
amoeba stuff going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Amoebas.
but that's my thing. Program or no program, incentivized or not, it's going to happen. Nepotism is going to happen. The CEO is going to hire his nephew. There's no way around it. This is regular practice. My thing is, why do tax dollars have to be thrown at something that's going to take place anyways to a degree? That's just my thoughts.
Okay, so you care
money.
about it from the money perspective, not the fact that it happens, but that it's costing actual money for it. Okay, that's
that, and then because what's happening is that we're incentivizing ignorance. The best of the best are not being hired. It's a quota being filled. And because there is monies in place and companies want to be profitable, what do you think they're going to do if they know a check is waiting on them?
I got to rebuttal that because the best of the
Sure.
best are getting hired. The best of the best just cost too much. So that's where we at with that. And so who's second best? Who's third best? Who gets to choose what that means? That's really where everyone is floating.
DEI pickups
Exactly.
are
So
the
what
second and third best
differentiates you
because they're
for getting
cheaper,
that
less
change?
experience.
It's more about
I'm going to take a chance on somebody who at least somewhat know the job that they're being hired for versus, you have a vagina, you are black, you are white, you are whatever. Now it's like you gotta look at all these emotional components. Is he trans? Or if he comes in, because that's what happens a lot of times, even in the introduction.
My pronouns are
My
X, Y,
pronoun
Z.
is I identify as a vase. So if I sit still and don't say nothing, that's just me in my natural habitat.
Sometimes
Nothing against
culturally,
you,
you already know that person is not a good fit because they just wouldn't be a team player. So it doesn't have anything to do with that's a component of who they are, but they're trying to be such a special snowflake that it makes it hard to figure out how they would fit culturally within the team.
But if I know that I could probably get an extra 8,000 added onto my pay if I just slide in a vase and someone who identifies as a dog and 3 white women and maybe 2 or 3 black women and the one token brother in there, what does my hiring process look like at that point?
That might satisfy some high level objective that was given from some type of DI initiative from a board perspective. And so half of that was your boards in some of these companies that had mandates on what they needed to have.
Right.
So that's still not even governmental.
But that's what I'm saying. When you remove those, if you just totally remove that, and now we're just looking at coachable talent, now we got a different conversation going. Now, if that particular said woman is great and she interviewed very well, it makes sense for me to, it has not. And on top of that, too, me personally, I want to feel like I earned the position in life. That's just me. I'm a grinder. So I may have an education for the sake of the fact that there's not a lot of strong men in education that teach, let alone strong black men.
Like male
Work with.
nurses.
Hmm.
Like male nurses.
I mean, somebody pick somebody big ass up.
But deeper than
Oh,
that, yeah, deeper than that, don't have anything to do with an intellectual situation. It's more about brute force. Can they handle this? Do that person look
But
okay?
still,
He works out, so I know that he can help lift up. We got the one machine that can lift up 500 plus people
all over the hospital, just
They
being
all weightlifters.
but then on
you
the
get what I'm
flip
saying?
side of that, you talk about construction with women, there's stuff that they physically can't do. But you have to have the women out there. So I feel you on that. Because on the flip side, yeah, they working Brad and Jeff and Johnny and Timmy
to death.
To death.
death.
But little Jenny right here is 93 pounds.
She
not lifting them big old rocks.
and that's where the issue comes in.
I will say, I think as a woman, it's hard. Story time again. How I actually got into tech, they took a chance on me when I was much younger. And when they took a chance on me, I didn't think about maybe I'm a DI hire. I just thought someone was going to take a chance on me because I had higher education, but just not in that field. So in hindsight, they needed someone who was probably a woman to be a little softer on the relationships part. He said that in the interview. That's what he was looking for, was somebody with the soft skills, right? Which I technically had never proven up until that point experience-wise. But the person that was a little difficult for them looked like me. And so I didn't really think about it at the time that putting a Black woman in that space was a double whammy. First of all, the Black dude who was giving him a hard time didn't give me as hard of a time as the white chick who sat next to me. So it could be that. And also, I know y'all don't know this, but man, when I was young, I was fly. So because you look a certain way too, that should also be some type of class thing, because that doesn't make you qualified.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, pretty privilege is a real thing. And if you look a certain way, people will give you opportunity. It teeters on nepotism, in my opinion. Was I the most qualified person? I had higher education. Check. That's above other people. But had I actually did the job before? No. So you found this attractive girl who has higher education, so she's analytical, but has never done the job. You mean to tell me y'all ain't find no boy, no man that could do the same job? Probably had a couple dudes.
What I'm gonna say too is that
I know it was cheap, because when he told me what it was, I was like, bro, that's way more than what I was making where I was at.
So he'd rather take a chance on you, because how much am I really losing? Then I'm trying to blow the bank on somebody who say that they know the job and they end up doing the same job that you was gonna do anyway.
I still wasn't the most qualified.
But on paper, I'm coachable. And you had
the credentials. You are like, just because you ain't in the job for eight or 9 years. I don't want somebody in the job 8 or 9 years, because I can't tell them how to do the job.
So here we go. So you don't consider them a DEI hire then, even though.
And you truly feel a space in the workplace that makes sense versus quota. I have to hire this many people or this many women. That's a different conversation.
I was the second chick.
There wasn't a lot of women in tech anyway. No matter what, it would have been DEI, because anywhere you went, it would have been DEI.
But he didn't have to hire me. I'm just saying, if we talking about the most qualified, which is what Trump has signed in, hey, I want the most qualified people to get this job.
Yeah, but
I probably was not. But I did a good job, but I'm just saying it was a risk.
In his DEI conversation, it's more C-suite stuff that he's talking about.
Because
way I would
the
look at it,
flight,
because
the
I don't
flight thing was not C-suite. The airplane, the pilot allegedly was a woman. We're talking about that, so that's not the case.
conversation.
The
as
Secret
well.
Service situation, he almost lost his life. They didn't even try to jump on the man. They didn't even try. They didn't even attempt to jump
But
on
that-
him.
but
Like
see, but-
one or two dudes in the whole camp is the ones who jumped on him.
Yeah, those are obvious DEI situations. That's very obvious. Come on, look at the health, the person that was in charge of health that RFK is about to replace. Like, you telling me how
Who
to
was
stay
it? Was it a
healthy?
chick?
An extremely overweight person was in charge of public health.
It's like when your gym teacher be big, and you like, I'm supposed to run about.
Think about it as a job recruiter. Imagine you want somebody to run the show, right? Somebody that everybody could believe in, everyone's willing to listen to, and part of it is a look you want to go for. You want somebody that got a good family base. If I got somebody that's going to be actually speaking on a huge platform to the world about health, vaccinations, the importance of a good diet, why am I going to get this obese person that don't look like they even seen a Stairmaster before?
I don't know. I've had some overweight gym teachers. If you don't look like you hoop, and you call yourself being my coach, I'm a dog you.
Right.
But and you
but
got to
what
be able
I'm
to beat
saying
me.
is,
So yeah, I agree with you.
that comes with a degree of credentials.
Nah, you better have a
Yeah,
nice
like,
jump
you know,
shot.
like
too.
having a
have
barbell
some-
in or something.
I go put you the ball.
I'm gonna listen to an old CT Fletcher if he talking about doing some dumbbell workouts. I'm not about to sit and listen to the woman that smell like donuts.
But she
Talking
might know what
about
she's
the-
talking about. She's saying because she look a certain way, you don't, or he or she,
Yeah,
that they
but on
don't
the
fit the
world
mold.
stage, that's who we want platforming. And keep in mind, you got Japan, you got China, you got all these different places where health and everything is big, and they don't want red dye in their foods and all this stuff. The rest of the world is staring at the leaders of the world, which is us in most conversations. And you got this woman standing there. She haven't seen her waist in about 8 years, maybe longer. And she's the one that's telling you about what's best for our children and how folks should be eating and what programs is being put in place. Like, you don't believe her. It's not believable.
Okay.
She got
Okay,
yellow
little
number
bit of
5.
yellow in
She's talking to you about, yeah, because it's just certain things we got to do for our children. Like, quit. No, that's not who I want representing me.
Overall, I think DI it has been hit pretty hard.
Hey, he started on the 20th. I think we are about to go into a coma. For like, shit. It's
Week
too
2
much.
came in hot. So
Yeah,
hot
done.
on the DEI, hot in basically standing on business is what he said he was gonna do. He's doing it, and more
He's
so
a
focus
voter.
on. What'd you say?
No, I said he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do and what the voters who voted for him asked of him. He's moving heights. He said, day one, I got a lot of work to do in a short period of time. So in 2 weeks, he's done more than the previous president could have done in 3 months, in 3 years. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's impressive to see him working because he almost like, I got a clock. Somebody shoot at
Did you vote Trump? Are you cool with the DEI policies? Drop us a comment. Let us know where y'all at with that. Drop us a comment.
Yeah. And I know a lot of y'all are tired, but we definitely want to get perspective on this because that's why we're talking about it. It's in our face. We wake up to it. We go to sleep to it. So yeah, definitely give us some feedback on this.
Also, if y'all want us to live stream, let us know. Is it the way this is churning? We probably gonna have to live stream to keep up with what's going on because lots happening.
Wait till
It'll
we
cost
meet fifth flow.
It'll cost y'all to do business with us, but we still
Here.
we here. All right, that's all I got for today. Y'all got anything, any stories y'all want to drop, or we up out of here?
I'm gonna hold my stories, but I'm gonna hold my stories only because you blessed us with 2 good ones. So
Yeah, because you came from my head the other day.
how? What did I do? We're not back to Go ahead, because I know. Yeah, go ahead.
JG Wentworth.
Call me CP and just leave it like that. Right. All right. Yeah, we getting paid. We ain't going nowhere.
All right,
But
I'm your.
you gonna let me? You gonna ask me if I got final thoughts, and then you just gonna cut me up? You know
Give
what?
us
I
your
don't
final
got no
thoughts.
I'll just be a me.
Now you got me on the spot. I'm nervous. But now, when it comes to Trump and these policies and moving and grooving like he's doing, he's moving faster than the speed of government and bureaucracy can keep up with. So that's really what's happening, in my opinion. It's like running a blitz in the first quarter. You knocking them back. You like everybody. Hey, what the hell is going on? There's no congressional hearings. There's no court cases. Like all of that stuff is gonna take too long compared to how he's actually moving with his policies that he's trying to enforce as a mandate. Now, is he hacking and slashing in some of this stuff? Yeah, it's really, I would say, brutal
Abrasive.
surgery. Yeah, or abrasive surgery that he's doing within the organization, within the body of the government, which he views as cancerous. So I understand where he's getting at. And sometimes when you do chemo, you're going to tear up some good cells too.
Kill them all. Let God sort
And,
them out. That's how he moves.
and so, are people going to get hurt by this? Of course they are. Even we might. But if we're looking at this as an opportunity to have our children's children have a future, then we should hear this out. We should understand where he's coming from and not think that was Project 2025. I don't think it's that. I think that it's been so much of the same thing that he's doing something to force change. Actually force change. And that's why I said I view him like Tupac right now. He rapping to a metronome in here and put in the beats later. That's what's happening right now.
That's definitely one way of looking at it. I can see that. He's basically when I've had conversations with people about how he's moving, I'm like he's moving as an avid disruptor. I'm like he wants to disrupt everything that he's seen that has not worked. In certain instances, is he throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall? He knows that everything is not going to work. He knows everything is not going to make its way. There's going to be different court cases designed for this to stop some of the things that's happening. But it's all smoke and mirrors. I think the main things that he wants to happen are going to happen because he's doing so much, you can't keep up with it. But bottom line is, I think this is a time when everybody should be hyper local. People should be looking around to see what he's doing and how it affects you where you are right now. Because the trickle down effect is going to happen, but just start paying attention. Start looking at gas prices. You know what I mean? If you really want to be very super critical of what he's doing, look at, because it's only been 2 weeks. So the stuff that he's doing, I think, has affected the news cycle more than actual life at this point. Some of the stuff, the ripples of it, we might not feel for another 5 or 6 months outside of him just protecting the border. That just was an immediate change. But everything else he's doing, we're not going to see right away. It might be a year from now. But that's
I know
part of
CNN is like happy that he back because now you got the never Trumper type people that just get to tune in and hear that echo of stuff that they put on the View and all that.
which is a part of the smoke and mirrors of the whole situation. That's what he wants. He wants the constant coverage of what he's doing because all they do is point out the little things. They're not going to see anything about it that's great. And me, yeah, of course, I'm for Trump to disrupt some things. I can't say I agree with every single thing he's doing. You should look at the faults and the virtues at the same time, but you have to see how it's going to affect you in the long run. Try to look at it from a logical standpoint. Everything don't equate to him being Hitler. Everything is not Project 2025. There's certain things that you're like, okay, that does make sense. Putting a halt on certain things and auditing and seeing where the money goes makes sense.
Condoms or condos?
Not
Condoms.
condos, but it was actually condoms.
Condoms.
It was
Condoms.
condoms. 'Cause I was like,
Million being allocated yearly to Gaza for no.
I was
No,
handing out condoms when I was in high school.
I
I
got free
wish I would have got
condoms
some of
all
that
the
50 million.
no. The question is, who
man.
owns the brand, the condoms that were being provided?
No, deeper than that. There's
I'm just saying
nobody
they
even.
got something going on lobby wise.
Gaza is in a war. Who over there coming up out of a bunker from up under a building to get some rubbers? Who? That's my point. It's certain things that
They're not
I
even
mean,
making it
yes,
over there.
I mean,
I said they ended up using them for bombs or whatever too. So, yeah.
yeah, bottom line is people was listening. People don't like Elon, but he did say something that was very true. He said that, hey, things may get worse before they get even better than they have been. Because it's so much cleanup work that has to happen for this particular presidency to be successful, which he's going to have to tear down some walls and put some things in place to make things run a little smoother. He might not have the finesse of previous politicians, but he definitely got the respect on the world stage, which I think is probably one of the most important things. Now,
I think that's a
catch me
big
if
reason
you
why
can.
he won. I think that's a big
Yeah.
reason why he won.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because we want somebody that's respected. We don't want somebody that's, let me make this point. No, we need you to be matter of fact, sir. And I need somebody that can actually balance a checkbook. 2.1 billion under. Come on. And you had a
Oh, we're
game
going back
smiling.
to that.
I'm on it because financials. Because that's the biggest reason why he won is because of how financially
Economy, yeah.
effed we have been.
And you bring up a good point. For those of y'all who are into stocks, we not brokers, but pay attention to your accounts. Start looking at things that policy wise are either being unraveled to allow growth.
Get
Better
your
catch
stuff
it.
in order.
Better
Get your
catch
stuff
us.
in order and the wave.
Yeah, catch a certain such and such that's in a dip and buy and watch it go where it need to go or level out or whatever. But yeah, this is the time to really be paying attention to your finances. And everybody want to simplify
And
it and they
cleaning up
talking
your
about
finances
eggs.
too.
Yeah, because everybody credit shot right now. Nobody has great credit. I don't care who you is. You got some credit issues. Because most of this country is living off credit. Nobody is in the black right now. So this is the time to really get everything in order. I know we going over, but that's my final take on that.
Okay. I'm done.
We done with our draft.
Thanks to the listeners, Odd Squad. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notifications when we get the new drip coming out. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tune in.
Peace.
Every drop of
Vibe.
clear.
Bye.
Wow. We need to get her on the show.
Pouring truths that make us
Singing?
glow.
Yeah.
Sound like she from Danity Kane or something.
Raindrop rhythm, heavy bass, conversation
I do my
echoing through storms
muscle
that
man dance.
Oh, wow.
droplets whisper past
He over here looking
Guns been
like
looking good on
a
camera.
budget Joe Budden over here trying to act like
Okay, I
Couple
can-
days.
overflow.
As long as he ain't
Damn.
sleepwalking, he good.
Pouring truths that make us glow.
Don't catch me sleeping.
Did you see that episode where Joe Budden was sleepwalking and took his clothes off and was naked outside his neighbor's house?
Feel the beat
Joe.
embrace.
he got sued for that. That was what's
That's
happening.
wild.
Had to go back to the basement. Can't come back in here.
Every drop a mapping guide through the chaos far and wide. Daily trip we overflow.
I'm about to stop this. Y'all being weird.
What do you want? Doing a robot or
Oh,
something?
right,
Like, what you
yeah.
want me to do?
Do something good.
Talking about
So,
some-
you know, get in the frame, get out the frame. There you go. Mime
I
down.
ain't doing that shit.